People only have the voice in your life that you give them. It is up to you to decide how much power, control, if any, that you give other people. It's your life. And I'm big on that. Big believer. It's your life. All right.
To some, boundaries are just placing limits. To me, it's where the limitless things begin.
Hello, hello, hello. And thank you for tuning into the Boundaries and More podcast with Jess Abraham. I'm your host, Jess Abraham, and today's episode is brought to you by Joyful Styles. Joyful Styles is a lifestyle brand that provides premium quality apparel that promotes joy and positivity. Joyful Styles believes how we approach a situation matters, and choosing to be joyful makes all the difference. You have the power, and it's time to embrace it. So, get your Joyful Styles apparel at joyfulstyles.com. That's JoyfulStylez.com. Let's go, let's go. Also, be sure to check out the show notes and take that boundaries quiz, right? You think you know what your boundaries level is? Maybe you're right, maybe you aren't. Just take that boundaries quiz and find out. Yes, yes, yes. So, man, like every other episode, I am super excited to dive into this one. Like, man, I see it a lot. I hear it. It's just all of this stuff just so good to me. I love this work. I really, really do love this work. So, today's episode is titled Boundaries with Family and Friends. Boundaries with family and friends. And throughout different episodes, I've touched a little bit on these particular things when it comes to friends, family. I even did a whole episode on parents, all that stuff. But today I just want to super focus in on this, and I'm really, really super excited to talk about it. Just, one of my favorite things to talk about, just boundaries, period, right? So to dive right in, right? Coming out just swinging. Let's go. First things first. Some of you may be like me, or in situations where you've made great decisions, particularly financially, and friends and family tend to now see you as someone who's doing well for themselves, right? So amazing, such an amazing job for you. You've been being a great steward, all of these things, making things happen for your life, right? I want you, because of all these things and with all these things, in spite of, right, I want you to stop being an ATM for those friends and family. Please stop being an ATM. Like, I'm not saying let's not bless people. If we've been placed on our heart, we've been led to contribute to certain situations and causes, etc. Let's do that. However, it's so important for us to stop and or not become an ATM for our family, friends, just for anyone, really. Just not be ATM. Be your own ATM, just for you and your household. Be it for that, right? But we must stop being an ATM. Like, it is so crazy to me, which I guess in a sense really divine, just when these certain topics come and just it's just dropped in my spirit, I really think back on to situations and scenarios and things that I haven't thought about in years, because it's like, oh, whatever, right? But it's so relevant when it comes to these topics, right? Again, it gives me a lot of credibility in this space. I really do live what I say, and I mean these things. But I remember back in the day, like I was young, even like I'm still youngish now, but like super young, like middle school young, middle school, high school young, all these things, right? And I mean, I want to say this before even getting into whatever else. Like up until okay, I did not have a job, like a job where I really go and get paid consistently, getting a check and all that stuff. I did not have a real job until after I graduated. No, after I graduated high school and I was in college, right? It was my first real job in college. Before then, I'll probably have like little odd jobs, do, different things, maybe even get certain allowance from, just different stuff, right? There was some type of money or whatever coming in. And even in those times, I was never the type to just go out, I get this money and go out and just spend it all. Like that just wasn't my thing. I thank God, because as long as I can remember, I've been a pretty good and great steward of what God has provided for me, specifically talking about right now, financially. So even in those times, literally, like, yeah, I'm saying middle and high school and stuff, right? There were adults, adults, right? Adult family members that will come to me and ask me to borrow money. Adults, y'all. I was in middle school. Some people call it junior high, right? And in high school doing these things like no job, adults who had jobs, right? Kids and all this other stuff would come to me for money. Now, then I didn't see it the way I see it now. To me, that is just super ridiculous. Just go ahead and say it. Super duper ridiculous. Like you asking a kid for money when they don't necessarily have a job. You just think they're getting money from whatever source you think they're getting it from. But you ask for money when you have a whole job, you have children, you have all these like things. Like you're supposed to be an adult doing your thing, right? And you asking this middle schooler and high schooler for money. Come on. Sometimes back then, I would give it to them. I was an ATM. And you know what happened? They kept coming back. Yo, let's go. I mentioned this before and it still stands. Why would you stop going to an ATM that continues to pour out money to you? Why would you stop? That's how they see it. So if you're out here being an ATM and they're like, oh, they always got a situation coming on. Oh, let me pay you. I'll pay you back on Friday, or I'll pay you back next week, or all these different things they come to you with over and over and over again. They're gonna keep coming to you if you continue to give them your hard-earned money. Some of them might not even be doing nothing with their lives, right? They're just not working, not doing anything, but they can rely on you because you're out here putting in the work and you have the money and the finances, the means. So it's like, well, I don't gotta do nothing. I'll just go to this person and they're gonna bless me. What you're really doing is blocking your blessing. And you're not helping them. It's enabling them. I've done it, y'all. And I see that the more they say, yup, let me borrow some money, I'll pay you back, blah, blah, they're going to just keep coming to you, even when they don't even pay you back. They're going to make it seem like they're keeping a tab for you, like for your convenience. They're keeping the tally at whatever the number is for your convenience, right? But they're never gonna pay you back. We must stop. I've already stopped. But there's some of you out there still in this phase. And yeah, stop being an ATM. What I've learned is that when you tell them no, a couple things gonna happen. One or two things mostly, right? They're gonna figure out another way to get it, with or without you. They really need this thing, whatever, right? And on top, and next, they're gonna stop coming to you asking, especially if you not tell them no 2-3 times. They're gonna start getting the picture. You make it so that they get the picture, okay? Stop being an ATM. Like I can I can be take the whole podcast to talk about that. Just that alone. But there's so much more I want to get into when it comes to family and friends. So we're gonna just move on. Y'all get it. Y'all don't get luck. Let me know. We can work deeper into some of this stuff because we get it so twisted, right? We like, well, God blessed me with this, so I must need to bless them and this. Not necessarily. Again, we can dive deeper 101 in the weeds of this stuff, but it's just super like surface level in a sense with this. Like, man, I'm telling you, stop it. I'll just say that. I'll leave it right there. Stop being that ATM. All right. Next, let's just move on. Again, I could be here all episode. Next, be sure to set clear expectations, right? Clear expectations. Now, I'm the type of person, right? I do not cuss, right? It's not my thing. Not saying I never cussed before, but that was way, way, way long ago. I truth be told, there's just a little sidebar here. I stopped cussing. I think it was like either freshman or sophomore year in high school. I just like gave it up because someone said a thing. I was just like, what? I had to prove to them, like, bro, I don't need to cuss to live a productive life. And since then, I ain't with the cussing, right? That was some time ago, okay? But I have family members and friends, or associate. This applies for associates and stuff too. Just put that in there. But I have people that I know that cuss, right? Now, one of the things throughout the years what's happened is that a lot of these people respect my space when it comes to the cussing, right? If they call me up, they want to tell me different things, whatever. They're not really doing a whole lot of cussing because they understand, like, oh, I'm talking to Jazz right now. I'm going to have to tone that back. I might say I'll still be myself, but I'm going to have to tone it back because I know if I want to talk to Jazz, we can't be going on and on and on with all this cussing. Like, it's just not going to work. Right. So I put boundaries in place where I set those expectations. When you call me, man, you can't be saying all these words and stuff. Like, that's not going to work for me. I'm going to need to go. I'm going to need to hang up the phone or just not be a part of the conversation because that's just not how I operate. And it doesn't work for my ears. Right. I prefer to not hear all this cussing. Right. Again, there's people, do your thing. In whatever other environment, when it comes to me, I'm gonna need you to leave that back there. Also, I have, there's people around me that they believe saying cuss words is kind of like a term of endearment for people, right? Just to put it simple, like I know people that use like just freely the B word, right? They're like, oh, hey, B word and B word this and B word that. For me personally, what you not gonna do is say that to me, because that I am not. Right? So don't be like, oh yeah, you might. No, I am not. Don't call me saying that. Don't put a sentence with me in the word together. Like, it just don't work. And if you feel the need that you must just use this type of language, even if you mean it in your mind as a term of endearment, I don't accept that. I don't. My expectations is what you're not going to do is use this term with me, because that I am not. You're not going to do it with my wife either. Not if I'm around. Now, my wife want to say this type of stuff with her friends and whatever, like that's something I don't know about, then that's that. But when you addressing me and my wife, that's what you're not going to do is use that term. No. Set those expectations, y'all. The right people and people who really truly love and care about you will respect it. Just think about that. Think about how much a person must respect me when they come in my space and they're like, all right, I ain't gonna do all that cussing stuff because Jazz ain't about that life for real. Like, the right people and people who really want to be in your life, they will make that shift just for you, because what you want matters. They will do that. I'm telling you. These things aren't just something I just pull out of nowhere or just go to Google and search and talk about. Like, I live this life. I live this life. This is, man, I just thank God. This is what provides me that extra layer of credibility. Been there, done that, helped people through, got myself through all these different things, right? Telling you, y'all, I know where you feel so much free and better when you do these things. Set those clear expectations. All right, let's move it along. All right. This one, especially for the last few years, been really, really standing out to me. I want you to pay attention to the people who support you. Truly, truly support you. Right? And stop supporting those ones who are just takers, right? There's people that want to do, you know what? I'll back up. I have apparel business and coaching and consulting business, right? With my businesses, there have been people in my family and friend circle to support me. Like, no doubt. I love y'all. Appreciate each and every one of y'all. However, there's been people who have not and don't even think about, like, they might say they're on support or they like this, they want to do that, blah, blah. Like, they might say these things, but their actions show something totally different. Support doesn't necessarily look like making a purchase. It could look like, sharing, right? Sharing on your social media, putting the word out to other people, or when you just in conversation, just, oh, I know somebody that do such and such and such, all these different things, like all of these different ways to support. So y'all, I don't want y'all to get it twisted, because some of you out there, I know you have your own thing going on, your businesses, your all of this stuff, and people, you might sell something or have something that can be even better than what they would go out and get. But because of, they're your friends or your family, sometimes, friends, family, they don't necessarily support you like most of the strangers will, right? I put it out there like that. There's more strangers out in the world that will be more than willing to support you, more so than these family members and so-called friends will, right? I'm just putting it out there, being real. And what happens is that even though these people don't necessarily support you, the second they have something going on, or they're excited about something, or they do this business or whatever it is, they're looking straight to you for you to support them, right? The takers. They don't want to support you in no way, but they want you to support them in every way. Boundaries. Nope. Stop it right now. We're not supporting the takers no more. We supporting those who support us. We continue to pour into those who pour into us. Like, it's about mutualism, y'all. We are not gonna be out here supporting the takers anymore. No, again, supporting you don't necessarily look like making a purchase from you, your business, or whatever it is you have going on. Or even, let's just take it out that I speak in those terms because that's my life, right? But thinking about it in this aspect, like, there are people in your life that they always call you when they're going through and all this different stuff or whatever, right? Never necessarily on a high note, sharing the good stuff with you. They call you when they're going through, right? That's it. They want you to help them get through. They don't want to give you the bad news, right? Bruh, we got cut it off. Cut it off. Limit the times or conversations, all of it with those folks. Because when you're going through, are like, think about it like this. They call you when they're going through and they just want to complain, all these different things, don't share the good stuff. It's not mutual necessarily relationship. When you're going through, are they someone that you can call? Is that person a person that you can call when you're going through? Think about that. Support. That's what support looks like. Mutual support, right? Doesn't necessarily have to be in the exact same manner as you support them, but having those relationships where it's definitely mutual. They're not just taking. All right. Because I want to be here all day. I mean, each and every one of these little topics, I could just go in on a whole episode. But I'm going to make sure just get you all thinking about it. Like, this is some of the things I want you to evaluate, right? Practical tip, all of these things. Evaluate what's currently happening in your life and seeing how we can fix and change, transform these areas, right? So important. Now, this one. Next one is I like this. It's big. I'm big on this. But I want you all to truly just take ownership and voice that you are in control of your life, not them. Okay? God is ultimately in control, right? If we surrender and all that stuff. But when it's talking about on this family and friends level, you are in control of your life, not them. So when it comes to your career choices, right? Starting from just where you want to work at, or where you want to major in school, and all these different things. Like, what do you want to, like, say, starting early, be when you grow up? All these different things. It's on you. That's your life. It doesn't matter what their vision for your life is. You are in control of your life. Some of you have given up that control, and I believe, and I made it my mission to help you reclaim that control and that power, because, man, they are not in control, no matter how much they think so. And again, they might be a little bit because you've given them that control, but ultimately, you have the power. And I want you to take back that control. You can. If you're not sure how, reach out to me. We can go more into that. Like, man, I made it my mission in life. Okay? Man. But again, it's about your career choices, your dating decisions, who you marry, who you hang out with, all these different things. Even if it don't turn out to be the greatest choice for you. You have the control to make those decisions and operate based on decisions that you've made. Man, I might just have to do part 2 of this too. Like, just to go deeper into this stuff, or just, like, in the community, right? Reach out to me. We can go deeper into this. Like, man, yeah, again, let me just keep moving because I don't want this episode to go too long. So, next, right? Something, again, you decide what family events and holidays and all that stuff that you want to go to, not them. I don't care if you never told them no before, or you're not coming this time or whatever. Now is the time when you can reevaluate that and make it happen. Because you know what? 9 out of 10 times in people's situations, they're not the ones putting up and putting out for your accommodations. You booking your flight, or you renting your car, or you driving, you taking the time to drive or whatever, and you're paying all the expenses, you're fitting the bill. But they want you to come to everything. It doesn't even matter what your financial situation look like, right? You don't have to go to everything, all the things and all the events, the little birthdays, the this, the that. Look, you are in control of that. You decide which events, if any, that you want to be a part of. You have that control. You have that power. You can use it. I'm telling you. Man, I just want to go deeper in all this, but it's okay. Again, we don't want the episode to be too long. Think about that. Next, this is one of the, I love this one. You decide who and when someone can come over or visit you at your home, your place, right? And if they can stay the night or not, right? So important. You decide that. Recently, one of the shows, I was watching one of the shows that me and my wife was watching, and this guy's mom just kind of like showed up out of nowhere with her bags and everything just to stay at his place. And of course, like most people do, is like, oh, just come on. She got a house, ain't nothing going on. She coming to town to visit, and she just automatically brought her bag, staying there. Like, she just knew, like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna use your driver while we at it too. Like, bruh, like, just taking over type stuff. Okay. Me personally, right? For some of you, you might just, yeah. Me personally, I'm gonna tell you how I operate in the Abraham household. For one, we have, thank God, we have plenty of rooms in our home, space, all of that stuff. We have a particular room that we specifically call a spare room. We do not call it in the Abraham household a guest room, because it's not. There is no guest paying any bills in our home, our mortgage, no, none of that. It is not a guest room. It is a spare room that we have in our home. And even with this spare room that we have in our home, everyone is not invited to stay in our spare room. We don't care who you are. It's just not what we doing, right? Words matter a lot to me, and I make it so, like, I know it's just common and people say these things, but no, for us, it's not a guest room. It's a spare room, because guest implies this is room for guests, not necessarily. Okay, it's a spare bedroom that we have. We have a spare room with the bed in it. That don't mean it's for guests. Okay. So one of the things my wife and I started and decided some time ago, that when family and friends visit us, This is mostly right across the board. And again, we can decide if we want to switch it up or not or whatever. But mostly when family and friends visit us, what happens is that they will either get a hotel or Airbnb nicely close to us, but not necessarily staying at our house, right? Something that we decided and that works best for us for many different reasons we can talk about on a whole nother episode. But people are not, like, for us, it is not an automatic thing. Just because we have this nice house and this nice home and we have a spare room and spaces that people could potentially sleep, doesn't mean that that's automatically what's going to happen. Okay? Get you a nice look. You're welcome to come visit us here in San Antonio. You're welcome. But make sure you have your hotel and or Airbnb, however you want to do it. And we make that happen. Again, it's not, we're not obligated. And we let people, we're not obligated to have anybody stay with us. For whatever reason, we decide that we don't want it to happen. And I want you all to really evaluate that. Let's start, right? Now, if you someone, you want to call your rooms, guest rooms and all that stuff, hey, do that. But give you another way, another perspective, another way of thinking about it. For us, it's not a guest room. It's a spare room. So for you, what that looks like, I want you to take all of these things in consideration. Oh man, I would love to go so much deeper, but there's other things to do. We go into that another time in another, maybe even environment. You want to work through this thing and flesh these things out even more. Yeah, contact me. And we can have a further one-on-one discussion or family discussion if you like. Okay. So, but yeah, I just wanted to touch on some of those things, what those boundaries can look like with your family and your friends, right? Because look, people only have the voice in your life that you give them. It is up to you to decide how much power, control, if any, that you give other people. It's your life. And I'm big on that. Big believer. It's your life. All right. So, with that being said, I'm going to just leave that there. We're going to get out of here. I really want you all to take some time out today. Take that boundaries quiz. See what your level is. Right? You might think you have like outstanding boundaries. And it's like, we'll see. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Maybe you think you have no boundaries at all. But you take the quiz and see that you actually are okay. You doing a little something. Okay. Take that boundaries quiz. It is right there in the show notes for you. Just click that link where it says boundaries quiz and take that quiz. Also, be sure to follow us on Instagram at Boundaries and More Podcast. Again, that's on Instagram at Boundaries and More Podcast. Man, I could just be here for a long time with y'all. But you know what? We're gonna stop it right there. We're gonna stop it right there. And I just want you all to really work through these tips, this list I've given you today, and really evaluate where you are in each area and make a plan. Like, okay, I know who's a repeat offender. Yep, I see you, repeat offender. We're going to stop that today. Write down those repeat offenders. Point them out. And let's go. All right. So you all be sure to go out and have an amazingly beautiful day. And be back here next week for more Boundaries and More with Jas Abraham. Talk to y'all then.